So let me ask, so real men are not progressive men. They're more conservative, logical thinking men. Why is it that? How did you become an illogical, progressive
Well, I don't
male?
agree with your question. So now you're framing a question saying that you're saying I'm illogical because I'm progressive.
But you do agree real men are logical and progressive people are illogical, right?
No, I don't agree with that
But
statement.
progressive mean you don't know what you want, you're confused about things, you're up and down emotionally and mentally.
I don't agree with that statement at all. That generalization is just as off and ridiculous as a left-leaning person go, oh, all conservative guys, they're all racist, gun-toting Jesus freaks.
But they are.
Yes guys, welcome to Cultural War. In this particular video, Jesse is going to be utterly destroying Graham Elwood. He's a comedian and also a popular YouTuber. He is a complete progressive beta male. This one is completely enjoyable. I want you to enjoy this, and I'll drop your comments in the comment section. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get more videos like this. So without further ado, let's get straight into it.
I have with me today stand-up comic Graham Elwood. He is the host of the YouTube show and podcast, The Political Vigilante, right?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're kind of researching on you last night, that you were a comedian first, as I just read, but you decided to become a YouTube podcaster. Why did you decide to change?
I still do stand-up comedy, but I decided to go into, it was after the election in 2016.
Is it true that you are a progressive?
Yes, sir.
And what is a progressive?
For me, now that term has been co-opted. Since 2016, everyone's calling themselves a progressive, just like someone puts eco on something and you're supposed to lead to believe that it's good for the environment when
Right.
it is not.
Right.
It's like someone saying coexist on their Prius and they flip you off in traffic. It's about like that. So for me, a progressive is $15 an hour minimum wage, Medicare for all, free college tuition, and ending all of these ridiculous wars and a Green New Deal.
Amazing. So let me ask, so real men are not progressive men. They're more conservative, logical thinking men. Why is it that? How did you become an illogical, progressive
Well, I don't
male?
agree with your question. So now you're framing a question saying that you're saying I'm illogical because I'm progressive.
But you do agree real men are logical and progressive people are illogical, right?
No, I don't agree with that
But
statement.
progressive mean you don't know what you want, you're confused about things, you're up and down emotionally and mentally.
I don't agree with that statement at all.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't agree with that
Why
statement.
not?
Because it's not accurate. You're simplifying political and social ideologies into either this or that. So I think human beings are highly complex, and so that's just to say. So any man that's a conservative, that generalization is just as off and ridiculous as a left-leaning person go, oh, all conservative guys, they're all racist, gun-toting Jesus freaks.
But they are.
All right, you're just being, all right, we're just trying to get a lot of likes on this video. Is that what we're trying to do?
But in all seriousness, you don't see real men being a progressive person.
Well, you and I must have
more of a woman's nature than a man's nature.
Well, see, then your definition of real man and mine might be completely different.
What is a real man?
To me, it's a whole man. He can be strong. He can show his sensitivity. He can.
Sensitivity?
Yeah.
Where do you get that from?
Where do I get that from?
Where
Being
would a
human
real
being.
man get sensitivity from? That's the nature of a woman.
Well, I don't agree with that. So
Why
you don't
not?
have sensitive feelings. You don't watch something and it doesn't make you cry. If something hurts your feelings, you don't express it. You feel like you got to stuff that down. I don't.
Really? Was your father a sensitive man?
Kind of. He was pretty angry.
And did you identify more with him or your mother?
I identified more with him. I mean, I played football. I did all those like man things. I study martial arts, but I don't understand this need to everyone's got to be shoehorned into these simple categories. I don't get it, because I've met too many people all over the world that that break down all of these typical classifications or stereotypes.
What's the difference between a man and a woman?
Well, the obvious one,
Besides the physical part. They're changing that now. They're trying to take off the women part and put on men part. You notice that?
Yeah.
So the man must have something going on that even men don't realize. But what's the difference between a man and a woman, other than the physical part?
Well, I mean, there's physiological stuff that we can get into, but also, why does everything have to be defined as either this or that? It's the same definition of like, so you're a black conservative, correct? Well, a black man should be a liberal, a Democrat, correct?
I used to be one, but God forgave me.
Right. So you've broken a cultural or social norm. So why does a definition of a man have to be either this or that? Why can't it be? I study martial arts. If anyone came at me, I'd drop them. And also I can cry pretty easily because I'm a sensitive dude.
You are?
Yeah.
Does your wife know that?
I don't have a wife.
Well, no wonder.
Oh, that's it. I cry too much.
So what's the difference between a man and a woman?
Again, you keep wanting me to give you it's
Are you
either
saying
this
there
or...
is no difference?
Well, of course there's a difference.
Other than the physical part, what is the
Sure,
difference?
men have testosterone, which can make them more aggressive. Women have hormones and chemicals in their body that can make them more emotional, but that's not to say that men can't. I think the problem is people living out in these cultural extremes. I think we tell young girls, always be nice, always be sweet, and they're never allowed to be angry or aggressive or anything like that, and if they do, we call them crazy. And then we tell little boys, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, and then we wonder why we have toxic masculinity.
What's toxic masculinity?
Oh, toxic masculinity is being like overly male. Everything's got to either be...
You can't be overly male. Either you're male or not. You cannot be overly male.
I think you can. I think you can be too aggressive, like a meathead, like a big fighty meathead. Because that man doesn't know how to express his other sensitive emotions, so the only thing he has is fighting
But
or
a man
anger.
that is sensitive is a woman.
No, that's ridiculous.
So what
So
happened?
your definition of a man is a strength?
You were married at one point, right?
Yes, sir.
So when your wife woke up mad about nothing, carrying on, taking it out on you, if you are sensitive, how were you able to handle that?
Well, first of all, you love the loaded question. So you load up the questions.
How's that
dude.
loaded?
Come on. All right, then you're going to ask a question about the question. So, all right, got it.
But how did you handle her when she woke up just crazy about nothing?
I don't remember any times where my wife woke up crazy about nothing.
She had to, otherwise you would be with her now.
No, one of the things that was not easy for her, well, we came from different cultures. She was Brazilian, I was American, so that was a challenge. And I was also going through trying to save my house. I'm not blaming my divorce on the foreclosure, but it sure didn't make it easy.
Yeah. So when you lost your house, you lost her too?
Not necessarily, but financial stress exacerbates any other stresses you're having in your life, any other relationships, work relationships, anything. It made everything stressful.
Was it your choice to divorce or hers?
It was mine.
And so did you want to divorce because you were stressed out behind the financial issues?
There was a lot of stuff. It was like not feeling supported, or there was there was communication stuff, and part of that is just you're talking about a language barrier. Even though I spoke some Portuguese and she spoke English far better than I spoke Portuguese, it still made it. There's just cultural differences.
Why did you marry her then?
Well, we fell in love.
You fell in love with someone you could even communicate with because of the language barrier? Which y'all gave hand signs?
Have you ever been to Brazil?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go to Brazil, you'll come back with a different attitude.
Well, I know they have not beautiful women there.
A lot of beautiful women.
And so you married her because you're beautiful?
Yeah, we got along. A lot of things were great, but I think I'm an artist and sensitive, and your definition, that means I'm not a real man, which I don't agree
Don't let
with.
another woman know you're sensitive. They're going to beat you up.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
No, women hate sensitive men.
So there's 3.5 billion women in the world, and all of them feel the same way.
All of them. They hate.
All black people are gangbangers.
Almost. Thank you. I didn't know you were going to admit to that. But
I don't agree with that. I'm just calling out your nonsense.
but
okay.
listen, but women hate weak men, and for a man to be sensitive, now they
Some
want.
women do. I don't. Yeah, I just don't agree with that.
I
don't-
guarantee you have never met, and you will never meet a woman that loves a sensitive man. They'll say they do to draw you in, and then they'll wipe the floor with you.
Dude, I'm sorry you've had a lot of women mistreat you, but you know that. Don't lump me into that category, my friend. I'm real sorry.
Do you have children?
No, sir.
Oh, thank God.
I know.
You be having sensitive children.
Oh no, what if I had sensitive children? What if I had a young boy that was like sensitive and caring and he wasn't a meathead that fought everybody?
He'll get beat up going to school.
No,
and
he
come
wouldn't.
home.
He'd know martial arts like me. Anybody calls me sensitive or wants to come at me, you can make fun of me all you want. Someone tries to put their hands on me, I'm going to feed it to them. And then I'm going to feel bad.
But don't let the
after I
women know that.
What? Don't let women know that I'm a martial artist?
Right. They don't want you to be an alpha male. They want you to be a beta male, a sensitive male. So, one last thing about that. In being sensitive, are you saying sometimes you feel like a man and sometimes you feel like a woman?
No, I'm saying, here's the thing. I'll say this. The men who feel like, and we're conditioned to feel like being sensitive makes us weak or strong, or I don't want to show my weakness. So the fact that I'm not afraid to show my weakness or my sensitivity or my vulnerability means I'm actually stronger and more of a man than anybody.
Amazing. And so I've never heard of anyone conditioning you to be a man. Who conditioned you to be sensitive? Because men are not conditioned to be strong. They're naturally that way. They're born that way. They're created that way. Nobody told me to be strong, to be a man. It's in me to be that way. Who told
But somebody
you that?
told you when you were crying as a little child to shut up, don't cry. That somebody conditioned you to be that way, to think that is a form of weakness when it isn't.
They would tell my-
Correct? Correct? Though you didn't
yeah,
answer my... Okay.
right. But they also say that to my sisters too. Stop whining. Stand up. Don't whine. It's a weakness. It's a sign of weakness. So what you're saying, the sensitivity of a man or a woman is a weakness.
You're saying that. I just told you I do not think that. So we need to just kind of agree to disagree here, friend, because I don't agree with you.
Amazing. What would happen to you if you became a real man? What do you think would happen to you?
Well, I am a real man.
I mean,
not by your definition, but by mine. So,
sensitive man. What would happen to you if one
well,
day?
I can tell you what would happen. I would be in more fights. I would be in more trouble. I went to jail when I was this. This is toxic masculinity. Your definition of a real man is what I define as toxic masculinity.
I've never been in jail.
I stuffed. You're asking me my question. How would I react, Jesse?
Yeah.
I stuffed it down, and then everything was a fight. Everything was a fight, and I started studying Buddhism and martial arts. And I realized that victory comes with the sword still in the scabbard. So any guy that was challenging me, I got scars. I spent nights in jail. So,
But I've never been in jail all my life, and I had one fight in my life.
so you're not a real man then. If you haven't gotten in a lot of fights, you're not a real man.
A real man know how to deal with issues without fighting.
Oh.
A sensitive man end up in fights.
I don't agree.
Okay.